As I promised last week, I'll start picking up the Bad Batch checklist I put together. I like to search for and recognize patterns, or in more movie and TV terms, finding story devices that repeat themselves or are inherent to this particular show. So, real quick, 1. It contains a shootout. 2. Hunter's got an important character moment or realization. 3. Omega learns something about herself. 4. Omega gets into trouble at some point. 5. Wrecker has a headache. 6. The Batch goes to a planet we're familiar or at least vaguely familiar with. 7. There's an ending that teases future conflict. And right up front, this episode checks 6 of the 7 boxes. Congratulations! Hi fellow Disney Plus watchers, this is Thoughts after a Disney Plus watch, where we review everything new Disney Plus coming out, and I'm glad you're watching. I want to talk about this episode in some pretty spoilery fashion, because very important things went down this episode. Take that as your spoiler warning. You can put this in your watch later list if you haven't seen the episode Battle Scars yet. Great title, by the way. Okay, where was I? The checklist. So the first one checks out. This episode had a shootout. And what a shootout. It wasn't just some fun action to make the episode more entertaining, it was really character driven as Wrecker's inhibitor chip finally snapped, and oh my, just at the wrong time. It was nerve-wracking, wow, pun not intended, to see Wrecker chase innocent Omega. The most heartbreaking thing is that Omega actually considered shooting him, as we see her finger just subtly pushing the trigger. She didn't pull through, of course, but this is a pretty dark moment if you think about it. And I'm curious if we will see ramifications of this, because I can't imagine this is really traumatizing for Omega. It would be awesome if she, despite Wrecker already having his inhibitor chip removed, still has nightmares about him and maybe slowly but surely growing afraid of him. That would absolutely break my heart, but that would be a really believable turn to take this relationship in. This should be a trauma she doesn't grow over so easily. Back to the checklist. I hope you like the checklist. I made it up last week, so I hope you are enjoying it. The second one, Hunter's got an important character moment and realization, checks out too. So the mission is done, all the inhibitor chips are removed thanks to the help of Rex, and in the final scene, Hunter talks about Omega and the group. Omega needs us, and I have to do what's best for my squad. Then Rex asks, which is what? I'm still figuring that out, he answers. A few moments later, Hunter's last words are, Captain, if you're ever in a bind, you know how to reach us. Now, I feel like he had to think about that, because he was a little bit late with that. So far, he has been sure that doing jobs, laying low and earning some credits is the way to go, but I think he really starts to question this, and I believe Rex is the one to get him to join the rebellion. I mean, there's a seed planted there. Before I go to the next topic, if you're new and one that can't get enough of Disney Plus, this is the only channel that's specifically and absolutely only Disney Plus thoughts and reviews. Episode per episode, we all watch together. You'll have an idea on what to expect. Click that button and that bell if you want to follow along. Thank you so much. Now the third one on the list, Omega learns something about herself. I don't think that's particularly the case here. She sure learns that not everyone can be trusted all the time the hard way, as she almost got killed by Wrecker, but not particularly about herself. If I'm missing something, be sure to let me know. Okay, the fourth one is pretty obvious, as we've already discussed her being endangered by Wrecker. Okay, this one, Wrecker has a headache. I think I have to remove this one from the checklist from next week and on, or there will be a big twist that he has a second inhibitor chip, but I don't think that exists. The sixth point checks out. I'm personally not that familiar with it, but it was the planet that opens the game Jedi Fallen Order. It's a ship junkyard kind of planet named Braca, and I love the look of it. Maybe in Jedi Fallen Order with the night skies it looks even better, but that doesn't matter. I kind of got Force Awakens vibes too. That's not really surprising, as that movie opens with a scavenger hunt through a fallen Star Destroyer, so it makes sense. I'm excited for next week. This is the last one on the checklist. It teases future conflict at the end, and now it's not something like this bounty hunter knows this other bounty hunter who knows the Bad Batch group. No, now the Empire will be on their tail. Seriously though, this might be my favorite episode next to episode 3, where we got to delve into the psyche of Crosshair. But this episode, man, it got hard, a really great bond between Omega and Wrecker, it got action with big consequences, and that truly shocking scene between Omega and Wrecker where she almost shoots him. And in the beginning, it went on a little time jump and got us straight into the action right at the beginning. I love that we got to see that the group is already settled and adjusted to being Sid's accomplices. There's already a sweet tradition blooming between Wrecker and Omega too, which also lets us know that this job we saw at the beginning of the episode with the animal, it wasn't like the very next one. No, there were a few jobs in between. Before I wrap up, please let me know if you think this format is working, where I mainly go over this checklist of things that are already classic Bad Batch tropes. It's okay if it doesn't work for you. I can't imagine I won't be doing this till the very last one. If I do it like this, it's not a straight up review, so I don't know if you like that, my rambling thoughts, but thank you so much in advance for letting me know. And thanks for watching, of course. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. If you're interested in thoughts on previous episodes, it's on the description, or you can browse the channel page. Did you like this video? Then all it takes is to click that blue little hand down there. Thanks. I will be back next week with a new episode as well, the finale of Big Shot and the Pixar film Luca. Oh, and you'll find me here on Wednesdays when Loki airs. For now, have a wonderful day and see ya.